I was supposed to go live at 8 o'clock for a coffee talk only. Man, I got to get some way of. Let me try to shimmy my table real quick. Maybe that'll work. Okay, so today we're going to talk about allergies. We're going to talk about how to clear your chest out from colds, flus. Oftentimes in the allergy season, colds and flus pick up. Um, we get something that irritates us, the histamine gets going, our lungs and our respiratory system will start to get clogged up with mucus. It'll turn into something like the flu. It'll turn into, depending on what we've got going on in our body, strep, but it's triggered by allergies. So sorry, I'm running a little behind today. I was supposed to start at 8, but if you're wanting to talk, grab your coffee and we'll talk about allergies. We'll talk about how to clear your chest out, colds and flus, things like that. It's basically inflammation that causes all this. Hey, Nicole, anything on lupus? Well, yeah, there's a lot to be said on lupus. And hey, Christian Soldier. So some of these issues like lupus and other autoimmune disorders are from deeper rooted problems. And I really wish that some of you would reach out to me for holistic counseling, because lupus is the manifestation of a deeper rooted problem. So it is an autoimmune disorder. So basically your body is attacking itself. Now, why? And I'm going to be honest with you, 9 times out of 10, lupus is a result of Lyme disease. More people have Lyme disease than they realize. And the reason is in Deerfield, Michigan, in I think it was 89, I can't remember the date, there was some back and forth controversy between the holistic world and the pharmaceutical companies, and they had given the prescription on how to detect Lyme disease. And when they did that, they were also producing a vaccination for Lyme disease. So you had to pass a certain criteria in order to be proven positive. But the problem with Lyme disease is it produces an autoimmune deficiency to where your body starts attacking itself. It later manifests into things like Crohn's, lupus, Lou Gehrig's disease, and things like that. But it's usually a Lyme disease disorder that's not diagnosed. And the reason it's not diagnosed is that your body has to produce so many antigens against the Lyme to prove that you have it. But the test that has been produced for it, because of the autoimmune disorder that takes over your body, is not accurate, and you won't produce as many of those antigens. So it's very hard to get down to the root of the problem. But 9 times out of 10, lupus is related to Lyme disease, and it doesn't have to be a tick-borne infection. Lyme disease has now been proven to be transmitted through sexual intercourse, through bodily fluids, through the womb. So there's a lot more people out there that have it than they realize. And the problem with Lyme disease is it is a spirochete. So it is a spiral type infectious, starts off as a virus. It gets into your bodily systems, and when they give you the antibiotics or anything to treat it, it sheds off these masking OSPs, OSP, that your body will attack. That's where the autoimmune disorders start to come in. And instead of attacking the actual Lyme, because antibiotics won't kill the actual Lyme, and so your body kind of tailspins onto, and this is not for everybody, but a lot of times lupus, Lou Gehrig's, and things like that, even dementia, where our body just deteriorates on a very rapid pace was Lyme disease not detected very early on. And again, the tests are designed in such a way that it's very hard to detect. I think it's like 80% of the people who actually have Lyme disease were not tested positive, did not test positive. So it's a tricky one. There's a lot to be said, but when your body starts to produce this histamine, I'm gonna go. Yeah, y'all hit the thumbs up button. I'm gonna go back into the allergies and the way to clear out your chest from colds and flus. But if you will, please, Nicole, hit me up on my website, Missy's Naturals, for holistic counseling. There's a whole lot to be said that I could help you with lupus. Of course, it's one of those things where it's one step at a time. I hope you're getting advice from a licensed physician. I hope that they help, but oftentimes changing some of your basics can do the greatest good at first, like your exercise, your water intake, your sunshine, things like that. I don't know how your lupus affects you. It affects a lot of people differently too. So that's another thing. That's almost like putting a 500-piece puzzle together. It just takes looking at a lot of different things, from blood work to your daily eating habits or your daily exercise habits, or what your foods you eat that may flare it up, to where it breaks out. Some people break out in the mouth, some people break out on the chest, some people with blisters, and some people are intolerant to certain foods, and so that's a real big one. But yes, I can definitely offer you some help if you will hit me up on my website. Okay, back to histamine. A lot of times people we're going into summer, so it's not going to be quite as bad. But if you have been dealing with chest colds, if you have been dealing with things like getting the flu, if you have been dealing with respiratory issues and you just can't seem to get it up, one of the best things you can do, and I did put a video. Yeah, y'all hit the thumbs up button, please, as you come in. One of the best things you can do is use non-iodized sea salt. Sea salt is naturally ionized, two different words there, to help to ground your body. It also helps with, it'll gravitate to heavy metals, it'll gravitate to mucus, it'll gravitate to toxins. So that's why when you go to the beach, you feel so freaking good, because the salt in the water, well, it's kind of twofold. It can deplete your body of potassium if you get too much of it and you start to feel tired. You might want to take potassium and magnesium if you go to the beach and feel tired. But in general, salt will help to ground your body, and the ionization will help to gravitate to toxins and pull them out. That's why they take a salt bath to both ground and detoxify, because it's true. You can just simply use sea salt that is not iodized. We're talking about not with the man-made iodine, in a pot of boiling water with the Breathe that I sell on the website, and breathe that in, and within minutes you'll start to cough up all of that junk, all of that phlegm. It works a heck of a lot quicker than the soursop teas, than the Mullein. It's instant, because the essential oils work to effectively open up your airways. So if you're dealing with any kind of allergies, if you're dealing with any kind of chest cold, if you're dealing with a buildup of mucus that you can't cough up, brown junk, green junk, whatever it is, the Breathe will help to open the airways. You got to get those airways relaxed and open to their full potential, cut down that histamine in order to have the room to cough all that junk up. But a lot of people are dealing with that now. They're dealing with all the pollen in the air that's caused all the histamine. I wanted to talk about the Allergy Stop and some of the ingredients in there. If you're dealing with a reaction to the environment, such as pollen, cutting grass, if someone around you is cutting grass and you're allergic to that, cedarwood, ylang ylang, and lavender. I've talked about them being good natural calmers. And talking about calmers, have any of you felt the effects of the full moon the last couple of days? Have you ever thought about medical school? Maybe not a regular doctor, but a naturopathic doctor. Yes, I've been in school for the last year to to practice holistic medicine. Yes, that's what I've been doing for the last year. I'm going to school through Trinity School of Natural Health. So that when I say I'm a holistic practitioner, that's legit. Trees and bush pollen. Okay. Yes. So tree and bush pollen, whatever it is, cut grass, whatever that is, if you're reacting, that inflammation is due to histamine that your body produces. You're allergic to it for whatever reason. In order to calm that down, you can take a Benadryl. Of course, that the effects of that are that you get sleepy, you may need to work, you function, take care of your children, whatever it is. The best natural histamine out there is cedarwood essential oil, and it's in the Allergy Stop. Number 2 would be ylang ylang and frankincense. Those are very strong. Frankincense multiplies the effects of any essential oil you use. It is a super strengthener. If you've looked at the doctrine of signatures and where God puts things in creation and the picture that he uses to give us of what they look like, or where they're located, things like that. But frankincense is a natural strengthener. So if you combine that with other essential oils, it just increases the power. Anytime you use naturals or chemicals, they are synergistic. They work better together. So the power is strengthened. But frankincense, ylang ylang, but cedarwood would be number 1 if you're looking to calm your histamine, to get any of the junk that's produced out. Unfortunately, histamine's produced when we're over-toxified. So if our body is really just holding on to toxins we ingest, the foods we eat, the air we breathe, combined with, maybe not clean water, maybe junk Cokes, and I'm guilty too. I drink some of that stuff or eat some unhealthy stuff sometimes. 9 times out of 10, I try to stick to my high protein, clean diet. But I do have those days where my kids are over and we have cookies or cake or chips or something. But if that's a regular diet for you, your body is going to have reactions that are higher than someone who is eating healthy or cleaner, because you're going to have more toxins. Histamine will produce mucus. Mucus, if not cleared out, of course, will rest in there, cause infection. If it's in your body for a long time, it will produce cancer. So that's why a lot of people, you can have people that smoke that never get cancer. You can have people that don't smoke that do get cancer because the toxins in their body, you've got people that never smoked that worked in asbestos factories that ended up with lung cancer. So it's all about the toxins. Even if you are participating in eating unhealthy foods, if you're cleaning your system out by working out, going to a sauna, or doing something to clean the toxins out, your reactions are going to be way less. What do you think of Young Sheldon? My kids watch that show. I don't watch TV. I'm not a TV watcher. I know there's one crazy one on there called the Mick. I've watched that a few times with my teenage girls, but I don't really watch TV. Let's see. Okay, so back to histamine. So if your histamine is producing mucus and your mucus is not moving, take sea salt, put it into a pot of water, boil it, try the breathe. Another good one is Litsea cubiba. Ravensara. Ravensara is camphor. The old timers used to sell camphor. You could get, you may even can still find them. You could get little breathing tubes of camphor over the counter at the old time pharmacies. Camphor is one that's been proven to help move mucus, open airways. It's one that people don't use or commonly talk about anymore. And then, of course, it's kind of changed to a more trendier name, Ravensara. But camphor is a very good one, even if you just found it at the drugstore in one of those breathing tubes, to help move mucus. It's one of those that activates, because I've said before, they're multifaceted. So it'll activate to move the lymph, to move the mucus, and to calm down the airways, to open the airways up. That's one that people have kind of forgotten about. But in the breathe comes the Ravensara, Litsea cubiba, spearmint, peppermint. Spearmint and peppermint help to, they're both antispasmodic. It's funny how they can both work to activate and move the mucus or lymph, and then also at the same time calm the right uh, body system. So calm the airways, calm the bronchial tubes, calm those areas to move all that stuff out. It's a God thing. It's a God thing, because they'll calm one area and they'll activate another area to be more energetic. They'll add energy to the area that'll allow you to cough it up. But spasms, if you deal with coughing spasms, spearmint, peppermint, Litsia cubiba will all coughing spasms. That's why they're also so good at helping with someone who has an upset stomach, who is constantly vomiting. They're antispasmodic, so you can literally drop them in your belly button and completely just stop the urge to vomit. Let's see what else. Basil. Basil is another one. Daisy May is here this weekend. When she was little, I've told this story a lot. There is a really good onion poultice that you can make that I got from the Amish. And if you're dealing with a chest cold that you completely cannot get rid of, and it seems to be turning into pneumonia, the cough is deep, the green junk is deep, and it's hard to cough up, you can take a fresh onion, slice it up in some type of oil or grease, and lightly cook it till the onions are barely caramelized. You don't want them brown, you just want them softened. And put them into a cut sheet or pillowcase, and you can put basil and clove being that very high antiseptic. Basil helps to draw out. Basil is so good at respiratory issues. There's hardly, I mean, Litsia cubiba would be one, but respiratory issues you commonly hear of peppermint and eucalyptus. Basil is even better. Sweet basil is even better than that. It has the mint properties. It is a variation of the mint species with the ability to kill the infection at a higher rate and draw out better than peppermint or eucalyptus. Eucalyptus isn't part of the mint species, but spearmint and peppermint. So put your onion, you're making an onion poultice, put some clove and some basil on there, wrap it up so that the juice, and I would say 10 to 15 drops of each, you want it strong, smear it around on that sheet, wrap it up, and place it directly on the back so that it's closest to the lungs. And the next morning, the person will be clear as a bell, and anything left will be coughed up if it's not dissipated. I did that to Daisy when she was little, and her cough was so bad, and we thought it was in the middle of the night, and I thought, well, I can risk getting her out and taking her to the ER, or I can, see if I can help her out just so she can get some rest till morning, and then take her to the doctor in the morning. And sure enough, the next morning she was fine. She didn't, but she sounded like she was just so, distressed. With a distressed cough, definitely go see your doctor. Go see a licensed physician. Don't take this over a licensed physician's diagnosis or recommendations. But I was just trying to make it through the evening and not take her to the ER in the middle of the night that was 30 minutes away. And by the morning time, it was clear as a bell. I couldn't believe it. So clary sage and clove in a situation where you couldn't immediately get to the doctor, in an onion poultice will, pretty much handle it. If you are able to go see a doctor, definitely go see a doctor, because you probably need antibiotics to kick it. Let's see. Haven't had a TV in my house for 8 years. Had no idea what. I have Netflix for the kids, and there's YouTube and probably some other ones on there, but I just don't. I like to stay busy. It's good for my mind. It's good for my spirit. So I've always been that way. My kids will be like, that. Okay, this is funny. So I did a couple of pageants, just for fun, to get my name out there and, to meet people. And it was recommended to me. So, there's this show on Netflix called Insatiable. It is wild. It is nutty. It is crazy. Autumn was like, Mama, you got to sit down and watch this with me. So Autumn will talk me into sitting it down and watching some crazy stuff with her sometimes. But generally speaking, I don't. I keep myself busy. There's Insatiable, and there was one other one, Jenny in Georgia. Yeah. Me and Autumn, yeah, we're waiting on the next season of Jenny in Georgia, but it's not something I do by myself. It's something I do to bond with my kids. That's it. And they get wild and crazy, and so I don't know. Other things to do. Research, learn, work, work out. There's just lots of stuff to do besides watch TV. And I will watch some stuff with little Ben when he comes. I'll hang out with him and watch some of his favorite shows. So cedarwood, let's go back. Cedarwood, best antihistamine out there if you're looking for something natural. It will calm. You can put it directly on the skin. It doesn't irritate. You can put it, well, the Allergy Stop is the one I created for me and my family, especially for me, because I was tired of taking over-the-counter medicines like Benadryl or Sudafed or Claritin. You just can only take so much of that stuff, and you know it's just not good to do all the time. So cedarwood, ylang ylang, and frankincense is in there, and you can rub it right on your nose. I pat it right up under my eyes. I'll put it right on my throat if I've got that itchy throat. And as I've gotten older and detoxified my body more, I don't have as bad of a breakout. My eyes will swell up sometimes if I'm around certain animals, or if I'm in an area that's got a lot of dirt and pollen, my eyes will swell up. But you can pat it right here. Don't get it near your eyes or in that tender eye area under your eyes, but it definitely will, almost instantly, you can just feel it. It'll have the same effects of a Benadryl without the side effects of being sleepy. And you can put it on a tissue. You can breathe it in. I oftentimes put my essential oils, you'll hear me say, put them on your hand and breathe them in, because that's just a quick way to get a hit. Some people actually have jewelry that they can put their oils on for now, but those are also good grounders. So when your histamine is affected, your energy levels are all sporadic, those are grounding oils. And if you've done any kind of research lately into grounding practices, they even have grounding sheets out now, grounding essential oils, cleansing with salt. Those will all help to detoxify your body as well and calm those energies. When your energies get out of whack, and I'm going to specifically talk about your 7 chakras, okay? Or within your meridians. When your energies are blocked, imbalanced, overreactive, or out of whack, what'll happen is, if it continues, disease sets in. So if you have energies out of whack in your lung meridian, you can expect some type of long-term illness. If your energies are out of whack in your throat chakra, you can expect some type of reaction or illness to set in. If you've done any kind of, The Body Keeps Score is one of the best books. I'm going to do more on emotional energies and how your body is affected in the month of June, because I'm specifically going to be talking to people who've had to deal with emotional issues for maybe a long time, or have had to deal with traumas, or have started unraveling the toxic things in their life. That could be people, places, or things. And as they learn to grow in awareness, they learn, oh, well, that's why I feel cruddy. Yeah, I've got stomach issues, but where did they come from? Okay, so when you peel back the label and you start to study yourself, your experiences, you'll realize that not everything is related to what we think or what we see, or what's easy to point out, like bad eating habits. Well, where did that start? Were you eating your emotions? Did that start from stress? Most time gut issues are related to stress. You've got things that are related to the heart chakra. You've got things that are related to the solar plexus chakra. You've got things that are related to the throat chakra. And I'm going to get more in depth on those things in the month of June. So that's going to be, and we're also going to do a donation to a charity in the month of June for domestic violence. So this month, we're going to stick to more of the essential oil remedies for, physical ailments. Your doctors are trained to look at things in the physical, so it's real easy to see, okay, a broke arm, and this is what we do to fix it. And doctors are needed, hospitals are needed. I'm not negating anything that's out there in the medical. It should go together. Some of this stuff could I think it could work better together. Maybe that's how I'm supposed to say it. A lot of things, if we look at the root core problem, so you go to a doctor and you have stomach issues, and he starts to treat that, and then you see a holistic practitioner and you realize, okay, my stomach issues are due to candida. So after I take this round of whatever he's going to give me, I'm going to start to get my gut back into a better place. I'm going to control my stress, or I'm going to eat better, things like that. So it can work together. Does anybody have any questions? Because I don't want to keep rambling on forever and a day. But if you're interested in anything that I just mentioned, such as my Breathe or my Allergy Stop, you can find it on my website, Missy's Naturals. If you're interested in asking me more in-depth questions, you can just put them in the comments section after this video, and I will come on here and answer them best to my ability. But yeah, if you're dealing with colds and flus right now, if you're dealing with limp that you can't cough up, chest colds, you can try the poultice that I mentioned, the onion poultice, sweet basil and clove. You can definitely try putting the Breathe into a pot of water with the sea salt. Don't get the iodized. When they add those man-made elements to our foods, or to any of the natural foods, it distorts its ability to be effective. I hope that makes sense. So yeah. And if you're interested in learning more about essential oils, keep watching these videos, because that's what I plan to do, is educate people. But yeah, allergies, cedarwood, frankincense, ylang ylang, 3 of your very best calmers out there. And they can all be put right on the skin without a side effect or sensitization. They don't burn. They all calm without, and they calm, but they also open up airways. They calm the histamine. Anybody got any questions? No? Okay, I'm going to end this with a prayer request. I haven't put a whole lot of stuff out there on YouTube because I've tried to take the high road, and I've tried to be the bigger person, but my son could use your prayers right now. The last couple of years, I've dealt with a lot, and yeah, and I'm not going to go into full detail, but sometimes people want to fight more than they want to compromise, to come to resolution, to agree to disagree, and it's put my son in a very bad predicament. And my son could really use prayers right now. Yeah. That's the best way I know how to put it. Some people just enjoy fighting, have bitter hearts, and want to put children in the middle of trying to get back at another person. And without going into full detail, because I have really, I've really kept my mouth shut about, instead of putting out every little thing, and probably done some people way more kindness than they deserved, because if I did put some of this stuff out there, well, that saying, I can't remember what the saying was. You can tell lies about me, but I'm not telling the truth about you. Yeah. So I'm just going to ask that my son be prayed over by everybody out there right now that's seeing this video. And I don't really give two shits, if anybody from the other party sees this, because they have put my son in a predicament by incessantly fighting and incessantly causing drama And in the end, the only person that is going to lose in all of this, instead of agreeing to disagree or coming to a happy compromise, is little Ben. So yeah, I do ask. Adults use children as weapons to hurt the other person, and it's the kids that get hurt the most. 100%. 100%. 100,000%. Yeah. So I'm going to get off here. I'm going to ask that y'all look at my my website. If you're interested in anything else, you want to ask questions, leave them in the comment section below. But yeah, oh my gosh, I'm just, no reason to keep drama going. Okay, y'all have a blessed day. I'm going to get off here and spend time with my children. It's a beautiful day. Hopefully it won't be too hot. I don't know where y'all are. I'm in Mississippi and it gets sweltering about noon. And if you are dealing with allergy issues or breathe, you want to ask me any questions, again, put them in the comment section or look my website up, Missy's Naturals. The holistic counseling, everything anything that I do sell this month, the proceeds are going to School for Kids with Disabilities. That's the charity of the month. I'm going to do this every month. 10% is going to charity, as well as there's a code for a coupon. I'm sorry, my mind's not where it should be right now. My mind's just spinning in circles over the links some people will go to. So 25% off on any purchase made. The code is 25 off. And then your name goes into a card. So every month that I do a charity, what I'm going to do is anybody that made a purchase that month, 10% of their purchase price will go, subtract postage, will go into a card. And then when I give the money to the charity, they'll be able to see names, not last names, just first names and where you're from, you know. Jenny from Ohio, you know, so, and no amounts, just, you know, these people help to contribute, to give to a good cause. So, yeah, I hope y'all have a blessed day, and I will be putting up videos through the week, and Monday at 8 a.m. I'll be back on for another coffee talk. If I can get a video up this weekend, I want to do a few more on essential oils before we wrap this end of this month up. Next month, we'll start tackling emotional issues and your energies and how they get out of balance and how they affect your physical health. All right. Y'all have a blessed day.